hang out? Do you know him?
I don't know him. I would like to know him. He affected my formative years in a major way because he was, as you say, always filled up. That's a wonderful way to put it. And now that I think about it, in many ways, last year I did 5 TV shows, and I was doing Better Call Saul, very staid, very controlled cat. I'd breathe a lot to center myself, drop myself, and I'd be on you. I wouldn't be in myself trying to figure me out. I would be observant and calm. And when people are really, really calm, it can be a little disturbing.
Well, that was your ticket into Gus?
That was my ticket into Gus. But I was also at the same time playing a character that's delicious for me, Adam Clayton Powell Sr., in a show called Godfather of Harlem about the journey of Bumpy Ellsworth Johnson, a gangster there.
Yeah.
Adam was a congressman, reverend, preacher, womanizer. And so I had the opportunity last year to flip it and to put myself into his skin, which in a way is difficult too, to play a historical character. I feel like it's a great responsibility to get that right.
Oh yeah, man! I just talked to Kerry Washington yesterday, and I watched her do Anita Hill, and man, did she fucking lock into that shit.
Locked in.
Yeah.
And so that's where I wanted to be with Powell.
Yeah.
And he had a big, larger than life spirit that I looked at so much material. I read his congressional record. He was a preacher. So preachers, man, they're showmen,
Yeah.
And to have an opportunity to be a showman, and it was fantastic. And then yet see him, he was also a lawyer and a congressman, and he was throwing, his personality at the face of the white Dixiecrats during the Civil Rights Movement.
Yeah.
And he was vying to speak at the March on Washington. He had a little scandal in Paris where he took, an assistant and another woman with him, and they accused him of using the government's money. He beat that and a bunch of other things because he was really about his truth was he wanted equality for black people. But the way he did it was colorful and fun and, interesting. And so to have to play that cat, was a blessing for me.
Yeah.
But it helped me realize that, I'm the kind of actor that likes to have fun within the sandbox, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Whether it's huge and big, small and controlled, it's allowed me the availability to know about history, to travel the world. Because after all, I don't just get in there and read the lines. So I'm playing a cop. I'm riding along with police officers for a month before I start to roll. So I learn about all these different occupations. I learn about all these different things in our world that I think I would be less likely to know if I wasn't an actor.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Well, I mean, but that's part of, I think, your spirit, that, you're sort of embracing life. You're a passionate guy. So that's part of your craft is to have these experiences off the screen as you enter the lives of the people that you're going to become.
That's right. I never want to do it the same thing over again. And it was a really difficult decision for me to make, to move from Gus in Breaking Bad to Gus in Better Call Saul, because I didn't want to repeat.
I think that, though, but it feels to me that, if I remember correctly, because I'm watching both series, and I love both of them. But yeah, it seems to me that you were able to add another layer of depth to him with Saul.
I hope so. I wanted him to be a little more vulnerable, a little more hot-headed, not so controlled. It's years before Breaking Bad, so that when you put those bookends together, then you see the growth of that character. Both of the shows I've done, Breaking Bad was about Walter White's journey. Better Call Saul is about Jimmy McGill, Saul Goodman's journey. So I realized my place within the whole. And who knows, maybe we'll get an opportunity to be able to do The Rise of Gus in a limited edition after all these are over.
So let's talk, to kind of bring it back around and a through line there. So what was it about your relationship with Spike that helped you sort of come to terms and define yourself, your blackness, or whatever those conversations were?
Spike asks questions that are leading. and allowed and asked me, look, if we had a war, he would just say, hey, if we had a race war, what side would you be on, your mother's or your father's?
Yeah.
Oh, Giancarlo, what side you gonna take? Huh? What you gonna do? Are you black? Are you white? So he asked you those questions that I said, well, no, you an octamaroon quadroon Negro. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm all of it. And it helped me to realize to be proud of all of it. I'm both. And we're going through a time now in our country with the whole Black Lives Movement, all that's going on right now, where I'm again being asked to choose. And then so I realize now in my growth, it's allowed me to play the Spanish characters. It's allowed me to walk into a room with all white guys and have them tell me, oh, wow. Oh, you didn't know I was black? Mm. Oh, yeah, we're so sorry. It's allowed me to go, I'm the best of both worlds. And so where does that leave me? That leaves me without a race or a color or a home or a country. It leaves me as a human being.
Yeah.
And to me, I love my Paul Budish story, my Jewish friend story, because that was the first white boy that accepted me, didn't see my color, joked about it. I hated him for it. Called me Jean Harlow. Wait, were you saying I'm gay? You saying I'm a woman? No, he had fun with it because he felt the outcast too, but he had guts. He was brave. He didn't give a goddamn about the Italians in the school. He didn't give a goddamn about the blacks who would beat on him. Now he had his little black buddy who could stand up for him.
Yeah.
This cat was, he was beyond the beyond because he was able to embrace me. So it took me years, and what I learned through Spike and working that out, because Spike wants to challenge you to see if you're really real. And I respect him for that, even though the method to me at the time was a little bit different than what I was used to. He was just challenging me to say, hey, I'm both. I'm a human being. Mm. And so for me today, I have mixed children who have been to the marches and asked me about their blackness and have questioned their mother's white privilege. Just by virtue that she's white skinned, she has white privilege. Yes, Papa. And why aren't you tweeting more about this, that, and the other? And then I got to tell him I met John Lewis. I got to tell him that I've been on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. I got to tell them all the stories of racist actions against me. And then they wonder, aren't you angry? I said, yeah, my whole life I've been an angry black man. I did Jay Leno, man. I said, I'm an angry black man in Italian skin, brother. Right? So that's your word. I told him I'm your worst nightmare. Because I got the pent-up anger of being black, and I got the viciousness and the energy and passion of a Guinea dude from Italy. So stay out of my way, leave me alone.
And so but on some level, it seems to me that through your appreciation of vibrations and also your commitment to yourself to realize yourself in the shadow of a mom who had some problems, that you have a handle on that anger, and it seems that you tend more towards a different solution.
Absolutely, Mark. I feel like I'm a universal student of history in the world, but I also feel like there's a mission beyond my work, and there's a through line in my work that should reflect the choices that I've made to take that work. Mm. And so I want to be illuminating. We're energy, and I believe this. If we forget about all the spiritual energy, the religious juju,
yeah.
We're 90% water. We're electrical beings. We're fired in an energetic way. And so I feel like our energy can be good energy if we choose to channel that. And so to hold on to, yes, we need justice. Yes, we need to have all these things, not only for Black lives, but also for Indigenous people and also for Asian people, is to realize the similarities. Now, we're never going to get to a point where we're completely comfortable, with some of the cultural parts of what other people do. But why can't we get comfortable with respecting that? So the energy that I want to put out in the world is an energy of inclusiveness.
Right.
And that to me is important because I've lived the other. You know what I mean? And that's what gets me. I'm split down the middle, and Spike helped me to look at this as well. although I've never said these words to him, I've lived both. I go to Italy, man, and it's not that I'm a star, because after all, what is it? What is black or white? It's not that I'm a star.
Right.
It's that I'm Giancarlo Esposito. I'm the fabric of who they are.
Yeah.
That's what they dig. They don't even see me as black. They see me as Italian.
Yeah.
They want to start speaking Italian to me. And so do we call, it's the first time I met a guy from England who was black as night. And he's like, hello, mate. How are you? Where are you from? And I'm like, what? Who are you? Like, yeah, I'm from London. Yeah, I'm from Camden Yards. And I was like, okay. So why do we call that person in English? We call him an English person. Why do we call him black? He's not black. We're not a color. We prefer that because it's made it easy in our country to delineate from those who have and have not, those who deserve and deserve not, those who have, they're entitled in some way. So I feel like, and look, we have it in our acting family. Now I'm entitled. This year I was blessed with 2 Emmy nominations. Am I entitled? Am I stamped an actor? So I just want to be me, but is me acceptable to you? And that's the question here. I explain to my kids, I get in that car, even though in Albuquerque, dude, make sure my seatbelt's on, make sure I have my license and insurance card. And every time a cop rolls by, have a little flutter, and I'm a grown man, little flutter. I try to explain that to my girls, Also, the other part of it is, as you know, we're in the wild, wild west here. Yeah. It's a wild, wild west.
A lot of guns.
So everyone in their car is packing. So I told my girls, don't talk no shit. Like I got 4 drivers now.
Yeah.
They come and go take okay, just remember, I just want to give you, I don't want to scare you, but everyone's got a gun. So if you cut someone off, I'm sorry. And you're a black sister. You're a black girl. That's what, So these are the things that we have to contend with from what we have lived and created in our society. And it would be great if those were all gone.
Yes.
It would be great.
Yeah.
I think we're moving to a place where it can be. It's like when I was told years ago something so very simple, Mark. If you're standing with a group of black folks and they tell a Jewish joke and you stand there with them and laugh and you don't say, hey, wait a minute. No, that doesn't work for me. Because my best friend is Marc. I like Marc. I like the Jews. I've been to Israel.
Yeah.
And then you stand in a group of people who talk about the Arab world in a derogatory fashion. I've been to Mecca. I've been there. I've been to the mosques. I know, a Saudi king. I met Muhammad before he died. So, yeah, I can, when my buddy, very personal, I love this guy. And since we were in college and, what was that first Iraq-Iran war, whatever had happened. And it came out of his mouth. So, Gian, what are we going to do about these towel heads? Yeah. I went, what are you saying, dude? Towel heads? Yeah. And this is my buddy who I thought was progressive and like me. So until we start to understand that humanity is a mixture, you live in a culture, LA, Glendale, all different kinds of people, New York, all different kinds of people. But the world is not New York, LA, Chicago, Austin. The world is, that Midwest America that has been sheltered from the understanding that human beings, some of them, not all, that human beings are human. And that we all make faults and mistakes. And it doesn't matter what color we are. We need to have everyone rise in the same boat. And the problem is that certain people in certain areas have been deprived of a certain kind of education.
Yeah, and now there's a shameless embracing of ignorance and hate that's being encouraged by the current government system. So there's a double battle going on again. Like in the midst of all this social progress and enlightenment, now we're up against some real authoritarian bullshit.
Completely. People who do want to control us, people who are afraid that they're going to lose their money and they want to make more. And there's no cohesive leadership that has come out of our government lately whatsoever. Look, we shouldn't be a society that is reflective of all one cultural dominant. without any soul.
Yeah.